Hello again, Year 5, and now we're going to continue our final revision for end of term 2 exams. And now we're going to start with adding and subtracting fractions. Okay, first thing that we need to know is when I add a fraction like this one over here, for example, if I have 11 over 15, and I want to add to it 3 over 15, the answer at the end is going to be what? Well, Mr. The denominators are the same. The answer at the end is going to be 14 over 15. What? Mister, isn't it supposed to be 14 over 30? No, the denominators are not going to change. So here is 15, 15, 15. Why, mister? Because if I say to you, actually, what is 11 apples plus 3 apples? It's going to be 14 apples, not 14 bananas. Well, if I say to you 11 bananas plus 3 bananas, it is going to become 14 bananas, not 14 watermelons. So here, if I say 11 15ths plus 3 15ths, it is going to become 14 15ths. Okay, so the denominator is not going to change. All right, Mister, this is very easy. But what if the denominators are not the same? Like in the one over here that we have in question A. Check the larger denominator, which is here at 10. The denominator that is bigger, check it. Can you make the other denominator into a 10? Yes, I can. How? Multiply it by 2. So I'm going to multiply the 5 by 2. It will become over 10. And multiplying also the 1 by 2, it becomes 2 over 10. Now, mister, I changed 1 over 5 to be 2 over 10. 2 over 10 plus 7 over 10 is 9 over 10. And this is the answer. All right, let's change this and make it like subtraction here, for example. 7 over 12 minus 1 over 3. Go to the larger denominator, 12. Can you make the 3 into 12? Yes, I can. How? Multiply the 3 by 4 and then the 1 by 4. So it's going to become 4 over 12. Now I need to subtract 7 over 12 and 4 over 12. What is 7 over 12 minus 4 over 12? The answer is going to become 3 over 12. Again, I just changed 1/3 into 4 over 12. Why? Because I needed the denominators to be the same. I checked the larger denominator, it's 12. Go to the other denominator. Can I make the 3 into 12? Yes, I can. How? Multiply by 4 becomes 12. Multiply the 1 by 4 becomes 4. So it is 7 over 4 over 12 minus 4 over 12, which is going to give us 3 over 12. That's it. Okay. And this is how we add or subtract fractions. Okay. Mister, if they ask me to put the answers in this table, the answers that are less than 1, the answers that are equal to 1, the answers that are more than 1. Okay. Let's agree on one thing. We have 3 types of fractions. What are they? I'm going first to erase everything that I wrote here. We have proper fractions. We have improper fractions. And we have numbers. Okay, so the proper fraction, like what? It's the fraction that has the numerator smaller than the denominator, like what? Like 3 over 5. This is a proper fraction, but the improper fraction is like 5 over 3. The numerator is bigger than the denominator. And the mixed number is when I write it this way, like for example, it is 2, or let's say 1 and 2 over 3. is the mixed number. Okay, so there is a rule that you must know. Any proper fraction is actually less than 1. So, Mr., the answer of any calculation, if it is less than 1, if it is proper, all right, so we agreed right now that any proper fraction is going to be less than 1. Any improper fraction or mixed number are going to be more than 1. So if the answer at the end of this calculation is an improper fraction or a mixed number, then they are definitely more than 1. If the answer of any of these calculations is a proper fraction, then it is going to be less than 1. Mister, what are the fractions that are exactly 1? Any fraction that the numerator is the same exactly like the denominator, like 3/3, that is exactly 1. It's an answer of 1. Like 10/10, that is exactly 1. So any fraction that the numerator is the same exactly like the denominator is exactly 1. Okay, all right, let's move forward to the next page. Angles. Angles here, I have a straight angle. Part of it is 60 degrees. What is the other part? Mister, I know that straight angles are 180 degrees. If part of it is 60, then I'm going to do 180 minus 60. It is going to give me, you should be able to do this mentally, actually. So it's going to be 120. Sorry for my terrible handwriting. 120. So this is 60, this is 120 degrees. All right, this is 150 degrees, so this is 30 degrees. Why, Mister? Because both of them together should make 180 degrees. Part is 150, then the other part must be 30 to complete the 180 degrees, and so on with the rest of the questions. If you don't know how to do the subtraction mentally, then normally do 180 minus, for example here, 119 to find the rest of the straight angle. Okay, next page. The types of angles. We know that this is an acute angle. So this is an acute angle. All right. And this is a reflex angle. Reflex angle. It is the same as acute or obtuse or right, but from outside. We call it reflex angle. All right. This is a right angle, and this is an obtuse angle. All right. What is so special about them? An acute angle is between 0 degrees to 90 degrees. But that right angle is exactly 90 degrees. The obtuse angle is between 90, so it's more than 90, and less than 180 degrees. What about the reflex, Mr. Ahmed? The reflex angle is more than 180 degrees and less than 360 degrees. Study this, guys. Memorize them very well. So again, we now knew the names of the angles. Acute, it's greater than 0, less than 90. Reflex, greater than 180, less than 360. Right angle, it is 90 degrees exactly. Obtuse angle is greater than 90, less than 180. And this is the second part of the page. Okay, now, equilateral triangles, all the sides are equal. Isosceles triangles, only 2 sides are equal. Scalene triangle, all the sides are different. Next page. here. They want you here to circle the numbers that are multiples of 4. So they're saying every fourth number is circled. So the multiples of 4 are circled. All right, so here, continue. How can I know that, mister? Which one here is a multiple of 4? I know, mister, for sure that 80 is a multiple of 4 because it's 4 times 20. All right, so every 4 numbers, they are circled. So 80 is circled, then 84 is also circled. Every 4 numbers. And mister, there's a four numbers before it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 76 also circled. So now every 4 numbers, a number is circled, which means the multiples of 4, the numbers that are divisible by 4. And we're going to take the divisibility rules in a minute. We're going to revise them. We definitely took them and we revised them in class also. We're just going to revise them in the video again. Okay, let's continue. Multiplication, we're going to have a look at it right now. This is division. We're going to go to multiplication first, but here, they're saying to you, why this box is empty? This box, why is it empty? Well, definitely because any number that is divisible by 8 must be even. There is nothing that is divisible by 8 and odd. No, okay? So this box is empty because all the numbers that are divisible by 8 are even. They're not odd. Okay, we're going to do now the multiplication along a division. Guys, just make sure here, when they ask you, 5 times what is 185? This means that they want you to do the long division. 185 divided by 5 will give you the answer. Again, 5 times what is 185? Here, I'm going to take 185 divided by 5. It will give me the answer. And this one here, they want you also to do long division. We're going to do it in a minute. Okay. Just remember that any number that you are multiplying is called a factor. So 56 is a factor. 11 is a factor. 616 is a product, is the product. So the answer of multiplication is called product. Okay, so 11 is the product? No. So this is definitely false. 56 is a 2-digit number? Yes. 616 is the product? Yes. 616 is the product of 56 and 11. 616 is a multiple of 5? No. Multiples of 5 end with a 5 or a 0. 11 is a factor? Yes, we agree that 11 is a factor. 56 is also called a factor. You could estimate the answer in this way. 60 times 10 is going to be 600. Yes, 60 times 10 is going to become 600. I rounded 56 to become 60. I rounded the 11 to become 10. This is the estimate. 60 times 10 is 600. All right, what is next? The divisor in the division here. The first number or the number that we're dividing is called the dividend. And the number that we are dividing it by is called the divisor. And the answer is called the quotient. How can we decompose? Decompose means writing it this way. 189 is actually 100 plus 80 plus 9. What is the inverse operation? Inverse operation is when you use multiplication. 9 times 21 is 189. So here, you're going to just write 9 times 81 is going to be equal to 189. This is the inverse operation. Right, the estimation of this calculation, how can we write the estimation? Mister, the estimation is going to be, I'm going to round this to become, the estimation is going to be, round this number, it's 190, divided by, round the other number, which is the 9, to become 10, The estimation is going to be 190 divided by 10, which is 19. As a fraction, we agreed before that it is going to be written 189 over 9. 189 over 9. The numerator is 189, the denominator is going to be 9. Okay, next page is the multiplication and the long division. Multiplication, multiply the numbers normally, but after you ignore the decimal point. So the question that we have over here is actually 61 is 61 times 50. This is the new question. How can we multiply? Multiply normally by 0 times 1 is going to be 0. Of course, there's a way that is easier, but I'm going to follow the traditional way. 0 times 1 is 0, 0 times 6 is also 0. I put here a 0, always. Don't forget the 0 that you put over here. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Now, add them up. It's definitely going to be 3,050. Mister, I finished. No, you didn't finish. So how can we do it, mister? Ask yourself, how many decimals do I have in the question? I have 2 decimal points, but how many digits are after the decimal points? I have 1 digit, 2 digits, 3 digits after the decimal point. So I want 1, 2, 3 digits after the decimal point. So 3,050. The same thing exactly with the rest of the questions. Here, 29.2 times 0.04 is the first step. Ignore the decimal points. It is 292 times 4. And at the end, you put 1, 2, 3 digits after the decimal point. The last thing that we're going to have a look at over here is the long division. Make sure that you know the steps and you write them down. Division, then multiplication, then subtraction, then you bring down. How many 5s are in 5? There is only 1, mister. Done with division. Put a tick. 1 times 5 is 5. Done with multiplication. Put a tick. Then I subtract. 5 minus 5 is 0. Put a tick. Bring down the 2. Once you bring down, put a tick. And go back to division. How many 5s are in 2? Or what is 2 divided by 5? Mister, there is 0 5s in 2. So how many 5s are in 2? 0. No problem. Can I bring down, mister, the next 0? Yes, you can. Mister, I divided, I want to multiply. Okay, no problem. 0 times 5 is 0. Subtract is 2. Done with multiplication. Done with subtraction. 0 times 5 is 0. Done with multiplication. 2 minus 0 is 2. Done with subtraction. Bring down the next 0. It is now what? 20 divided by 5. Now I brought down the 0. Once you bring down, go back to division. What is 20 divided by 5? It is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. Done with division, done with multiplication. Go to subtraction. 20 minus 20 is 0, 0. So following the steps is going to make it easy. Is there anything else to bring down? No. So it is 104. Mister, what if I had something down here? For example, I'm just imagining if I had a 9, for example, so remainder 9, but we don't have this here. This is long division. The divisibility rules are explained to you here. Any number that is even is divisible by 2. If I want to know if it's divisible by 5 or not, any number that ends with 0 or 5 is divisible by 5. If I want to know if it's divisible by 3, add the digits up. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 0 is 6, plus 6 is 12. Is 12 in table 3? Yes. So this number is divisible by 3. So again, to know if it's divisible by 3 or not, add all the digits of the number up. You add them up, ask yourself, is the answer of addition in table 3? Here it gives us 12. Yes, in table 3. So the whole number is divisible by 3. But Mr., if he gave me, for example, 13, is 13 in table 3? No. So the number is not divisible by 3. Divisible by 4, check the last 2 digits. Ask yourself, are they in table 4 or can they be divided by 4 without having a remainder? Yes, 28 Mr. divided by 4 is going to give me 7. So there is no remainder. So it is, the whole thing is divisible by 4. Again, to know if a number is divisible by 4 or not, check the last 2 digits. Are they divisible by 4? Which means when you divide the last 2 digits by 4, the answer will have no remainder. Yes, Mr., it will have no remainder. Then it is divisible by 4. But Mr., if it was, for example, a number like, let's say 90, let's say 1. If you divide 91 by 4, it will give you a remainder. So the number will not be divisible by 4. The same thing exactly with 8, but we check the last 3 digits. 816 divided by 8. How, Mr.? Divided by 8 using long division. We learned this. Okay, so 816 divided by 8, it gave me 102. There is no remainder, Mr. So it is divisible by 8. So to know if it's divisible by 8 or not, check the last 3 digits. Divide them by 8. If they are divisible by 8, then the whole number is divisible by 8. 10, any number that ends with a 0 is divisible by 10. Thank you so much, Year 5, and wish you good luck in tomorrow's exam, inshallah, and see you tomorrow.